Yeah. What's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where, as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. Yo, I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpio, represented, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what it do, LB Valadel Post Fellow Worth of God, Go Artist, Soul was created by me, BangGangRadio.com. Yo,
Yes, sir. Ring gang in the house forever and always. And as always, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what's good? You already know who this is. Your boy King P, Bodega Boxing in the building. Ring Gang Radio, what up? Let's go.
Hey, Bodega P, and I know, of course, I know you're definitely, you're not fighting no crime today, since this is a fairly big boxing night. So I know
Yeah, no crime being fought today. I'm saving my uppercuts for later on when I shadow box when I'm excited with all the knockouts.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. That's real talk, man. But as always, man, we do salute you for your service, man, keeping the city safe and whatnot. And then last but certainly not least, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
What's Spice, your boy Conscious Pilot, aka the West Coast Avenger, number one contender preparing for liftoff, Destination Room Gang Radio.
There we go. You know what I'm saying? Conscious Pilot stays elevating above the masses. That's real, man. So yeah, we decided, a couple weeks ago that we should actually, go live, before a big fight for briefly as whatever, so just to because share our reactions and whatnot, give our final thoughts on it before for the night fight begins. So yeah, LB, man, I'm gonna let you set this shit off, man. So yeah, we're gonna set it off with the Tank versus Barrios pay-per-view, as I think that's probably the card that has the most buzz by far, for tonight, man. So man, LB, man, what are your thoughts, bro?
yeah, that's what's up, man. I think finally realizing that this is a good competitive matchup. Like, whether you're a fan of the matchup or not, it's a real good competitive matchup. There's no walk in the park for either guy, whoever wins. So, I think that's what, and the size difference.
Yeah, them sides.
People looking at that.
Yeah, no, I think there was a deleted IG post that Tank put up talking about he couldn't talk no gangster shit because he was sitting on the high ass chairs and his feet couldn't even touch the footrest. Because Barris wouldn't believe that shit.
It's like the Chucky doll, talking gangster.
For real though.
Yeah, it's deadly, but don't talk gangster. Nah.
Yeah, because the Barrios is at least like 6'1", and Tank is like maybe at the legit 5'4", 5'5", maybe. So, yeah, I mean the height advantage is definitely pronounced, but it also depends on, but both of them have firepower in their hands or whatever. So, basically, gonna say who's gonna catch who first.
That all access been dope.
What's that?
The all access they had.
Oh yeah, the all access shit. Yeah, I have to admit though. I mean, I'm not a fan of the fight though. But Showtime actually for once showed their ass with with the all access stuff. They actually brought that shit back. And I mean, but I was like, yeah, this shit is really well done. Give a little background to Barrios, Tank shit. Tank being in the store buying them ugly ass shoes and shit like that. Like that's the shit. That's the human shit that you don't really see all that much when you actually try to hey, what's the background of these fighters, man? It took me back to the Super 6 episodes in a way. We used to show shit like that, and then of course the HBO stuff too. So yeah, it was incredibly well done. I was impressed.
Yeah, it was. Like my dad called me this morning, like earlier today, and we were talking about the fight, and he's like, my dad used to watch boxing, but he don't keep up with like that. But then he's like, he was even impressed by it, and he's not really easily impressed. So, I mean, yeah, it's a good look, especially with Tank getting that push, but he got to win to keep that push going.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, man. And then Showtime, and then obviously the Zone and Top Rank and Golden Boy should really look into. Like I said, it goes a long way. Like if you have a card full of fighters that are not necessarily as known as the others, man. Those video segments, man, they go a long fucking way. Like especially if they're well done, man. So yeah, I hope they actually really bring back this trend and really, really spend the money. Like I don't know what they have in their budgets or whatever, but it will be worth it. The money will, they'll earn back the money if someone actually gets invested in these fighters because of those video segments. You know, but yeah, no, that was a good point, LB. That shit was dope. But so what are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm a fan of this fight. I know, you yourself, Pat, aren't really too, invested in it, but I think it's a good, we're gonna see if Tank's power, which I think can obviously transfer from 130 to 135 to 140, maybe even up to welter. We'll see about if weight classes make a difference. I mean, if weight classes are there for a reason, or, because Barrios he's not necessarily outstanding in anything, but he's above average in most, other than defense. So, we'll see, if the actual natural 140 guy can take care of the guy who's, kind of undersized, even at 135. So.
Yeah, I mean, I know I said in the past, Barrios is even too big for 140. I mean, obviously, even Barrios himself is not long for 140. Like, I don't even know what the end game is for him, but it's definitely not 140. That's for damn sure.
I like the addition of Virgil Hunter.
Yeah, see, Virgil, I'm kind of conflicted with him because Virgil Hunter doesn't have a lot of success outside of maybe two fighters. That's the thing with him. Like,
I don't think he has the right. I mean, I also felt like it was wrong guys that were wrong style for what he wanted to do. I don't think I don't really put that on him. Like, you just don't. It doesn't matter what you have if you don't have the right tools, to use what you want to do. So I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, you got to consider the fighters. Like, he did as much as he can with them.
Right.
I do think Americano is a bad matchup. Like Americanos always be the best with Freddie Roach.
Oh yeah, always, yeah, because someone needs to actually bring out Khan's attributes, which is his speed and his punching, and no one punches more that trans punches more than Freddie Roach. Yeah.
But with Barrios and with Hunter, I think Barrios might try to box with Tank, keep him on the outside, and he has the power. He might really try to clip Tank. Because who knows if he get the decision, if that should go the distance.
Nigga,
he's gonna have to work for that decision.
If that goes the distance, man, how they're not gonna let Tank lose. I mean, unless Tank gets knocked down a couple of times or 3 times at least.
He had to really get a shellacking.
Yeah, he's gonna do that. I mean, I think Tank's gonna have to really put a lot of pressure on, because he's not he's gonna actually try to he's gonna have to be very assertive. Just because obviously the length and the reach is such a disadvantage, No,
yeah, definitely, absolutely, yeah. And then Barrios, obviously, one thing he has to do. Yeah, I mean, it would be smart from Lux because there's one thing he can't do is he can't let Tank just come in on him like that. Because if he does that, Tank. I mean, and Barrios has a long ass body too. So yeah, I mean, it's not like Tank will probably lace that body repeatedly just to get to that jaw. So I mean, that's just a big thing. So
cut that tree down.
Yeah, absolutely. ALP, what are your thoughts, bro?
I mean, I'll be honest. Like you, I was not like when this fight was announced. I was because I just for an assortment of reasons, but as we've gotten closer and now we've gotten to the night of the fight, I'm actually excited for it. So I guess that's call it the boxing in me that just like I'll get up for any fight regardless, whether I don't like it, it is what it is. But they've done a good job, promoting this and the All Access, which has actually been really good. I actually checked it out. Been really, really good. So it's going to be a good fight. I'm expecting some fireworks here and there, an assortment of fireworks. Not all at once, but it'll be like it's not like it'll be like when you throw those little firecrackers and it goes pop pop, right? not big fireworks, but an assortment of firecrackers just spread out from round to round. So I mean, it should be a dope fight. We'll see. Questions will be answered with.
You mean like teams exchanges?
What?
Like teams exchanges.
Yes, from time to time. I don't think it's gonna be. I think
who's gonna try to make a firefight come out? Like Tank gonna be aggressive. Like get on the inside. Yeah, I feel you.
I think that some questions will be answered, mainly to see what Tank looks like at 140, see if his power goes up, which I'm on record saying I absolutely do believe his power will transfer up, not only to 140, I believe it will go up as high as 147. But that remains to be seen. But we'll have to see right now if it goes up to 140. And we're gonna see what he can do against a guy like Mario Barrios, who isn't great. He's not spectacular, but he's solid. He's solid all around. I think
The punch.
He can punch. He's his tall work rate. I think that's really going to be the interesting thing because you use your size and your work rate. Those are the two advantages that he really has. But his work rate might be a detriment to him because his defense is so poor that it gives Tank more chances to catch him in between exchanges. And his body will be there for him to rip at. It's going to be interesting to see how much punishment, Tank can dish out to Barrios, and if Barrios can take it, if Tank can really dish out that punishment with the power, the body's going to be open. So
we want to do Tank defense, though. Like, Tank defense consists of kind of blocking, low-key parrying, and walking through and getting hit.
And that's the thing. Tank is hittable too, but Barrios is even more hittable. So it's going to be
he's more hittable from a place of leverage. And I believe he has a reach advantage.
This is true. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see. So I definitely think that Barrios is going to take some punishment, but we'll see how much punishment he takes.
You think he'll win some rounds?
Oh no, most definitely he'll win some rounds. But I just feel like he's also gonna win rounds. It's gonna be one of those he'll win rounds at a price.
Exactly.
Is he getting drop, Pete?
This is Tank's biggest puncher too.
That's true, but yes, but it's because I would say he's his biggest puncher because he's bigger because he's bigger. I don't like punch for punch. I don't think that like pound for pound, punch for punch. I don't think Barrios is the biggest puncher he's faced. But considering the circumstances,
okay, who you think hit harder than Barrios?
I mean,
140.
Nah, just in general. I mean,
we're just talking pound for pound, punch for punch. I think punch for punch, pound for pound. I actually think Cuellar is a bigger puncher than Barrios. Pound for pound, punch for punch, but he was smaller.
I can see that. I agree with that.
I actually think Gamboa, punch for punch, pound for pound, is a bigger puncher than Barrios. But it's just.
That was watch Gamboa.
Probably Pedraza too. I mean, I don't know, but I think
no, Pedraza's not really that type of.
No, Pedraza's not really a puncher. So I mean, I think Tank has technically, in my mind, faced bigger punchers, but he's faced bigger punchers that were smaller and coming up in weight. So we don't really know how well he would have hurt him because of these smaller guys. You know what I'm saying?
It's like his defense. He doesn't really. He doesn't respect most of the guys he's fighting's power, so that's why he kind of just absorbs some shots to get some, and he doesn't really respect it. So we'll see if he fights differently. Obviously, with the guy, fighting at 140, we'll see if he fights differently, or maybe that is his defense, just walking. Because he has natural. I feel like he has natural defensive instincts and stuff, but most of the guys he fights don't really pack a punch like that he can't take. So.
I feel like this fight could play out like a better version of like I'm saying if he threw hands, if he actually let more of his punches go, this fight could be like Broner Granados if Broner let his hands go. Because I think Barrios is like I see it like, to me he's a lot like Granados in many ways.
Oh yeah, he's
a better counter puncher.
Yeah, that too. But I just think it's going to be because, like I said, Tank's going to let his hands go. So there's going to be opportunities. But I'm interested to see how it plays out.
Yeah, and I'm just reading a couple comments from official scorecard. Boxing Science said, for power, it can go two ways. Either a fighter loses power moving up or sometimes gaining some, especially if he was extremely drained in the previous weight class. Yeah, with Tank, I don't think Tank is because he's clearly not got drained at 140, going up to 140. I mean, I think he probably made that shit comfortably. So it'll be more or less it would be thinking if his pack could actually affect Barrios. And also another thing too, Barrios, it depends on how much he actually rehydrates. You know, if he's going to be, because I know he says he's only going to rehydrate 5 pounds, but I think that's kind of bullshit because he's already.
Why would he do? Why would he intentionally handicap himself? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like they were because they didn't have no rehydration clause. So like, yo, if you make that 140, you might as well play that shit in your favor. Like, don't try to come in the ring, you know, when you don't need to. Like maybe 5 pounds after you win. Like, no, bro, don't do that. You know, all you're doing is just fucking hindering yourself. You know, like I said. So I mean, it's gonna be so basically those are the two main factors in terms of Barrios actually getting affected by Tank's power or not.
I think the money punch, like I think we see like a lot of body shots. I think like a left hook to the liver or left or right hook to the liver should be the money punch for Tank because he'll be there for him.
Honestly, if there isn't any body shots, I'd be completely surprised. Either that they really hate each other and they really want to knock each other's blocks off, if I don't see no body punching going on.
I think Barrios need to see if he can get that jab going early.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, he needs a fuss rate Tank.
He needs.
Tank ain't never been in a fight where it's up 6 rounds and he's losing type shit.
Yeah. I mean, this might be the first time we see Tank. It'd be nice to see him how he overcomes adversity, or him down early, clearly down early. I don't recall.
I mean, I think probably the only fight that he's actually had that in that aspect in that scenario is probably the Fonseca fight.
Oh yeah.
He looked like absolute shit in that fight.
He did. Yeah, he did.
I didn't have him. I don't think I had him losing that fight. He just looked really bad.
I thought that fight was close. I have to admit, but I definitely was very. Fonseca was definitely.
No, it was close. It was a competitive fight, but I didn't have him at the time of the stoppage. I don't think I had him losing that fight. Fonseca just frustrated him a lot.
Yeah, and it definitely went more enough where you're like, okay, is Tank going to be able? I mean, Tank got him out of there in was it 8? I think, so he did what he had to do because he fought like, he had to get rid of this guy because it was getting too close, though. But yeah, other than that, I think that's probably the only fight in his whole thing so far. And then, LSC fight was kind of close too, but he iced him by the mid round, so.
Yeah, that was about 4. I mean, maybe LSC might have been up around, but that wasn't, whether that was.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking right now. Yeah, Tank was up by 1 on all 3 judges' cards when he iced them. So,
Yeah, it was about even.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things to, there's a lot of things going on.
Yeah, a lot of those dudes, man, they went into those Tank fights knowing they ain't really have a chance. Like, nothing to really, use against Tank. Like, I feel like this one's different. Like, Tank gonna earn this one. And there's an upset, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, if there's an upset, then I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's an upset, but
you seen the poll? The Nakatani fight's a bigger upset than me. If that happens.
No, yeah.
You saw the results were close as fuck. I'm like, damn.
Well, I mean, to me, I just
30. Well, and it's 50-50 right now. 34 votes. 34
That's
votes.
crazy.
Oh wow, really? 50-50?
I mean, for me,
I think Barrios beating Tank honestly would be the bigger upset to me personally.
You serious?
I don't think
I absolutely think so.
Even though I think Nakatani has a good chance. I mean, both. These are. Both
I absolutely think so.
Wow. So hold on, y'all really think Nakatani got a legit chance like that? Then the actual.
I don't think either of them are gonna win. I don't think either. I mean, both of them have good chances, but I don't think either of them are gonna win. But I just feel like to me, Tank. Weight aside, maybe it's just because I feel like the weight issue isn't going to be a problem. I think Tank is going to carry up his power and his skill up to 140. So I'd be surprised that I just think he's more skilled overall than Barrios. Like if it wasn't for the weight difference, if they were the same size, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Whereas if I think Loma's going to beat Nakatani, but if Nakatani beats Loma, I'd be less surprised only because Loma A is coming off of a loss already, and B, we've seen him get in it and have tough fights at guys at 135 already. So
against guys that are bigger than him, because Nakatani is
Nakatani's bigger.
But I mean, this is the thing: Jorge Linares, Luke Campbell are like better fighters to me than Nakatani.
But like, Nakatani's a bigger puncher than both of them.
And
he's bigger, and he's bigger.
He's a bigger puncher. He's definitely a bigger puncher than Campbell. And
then Nakatani's also been in there with better fighters than Barrios to me, so that's another thing. So,
yeah, that's true. He's really world class.
Yeah,
but I mean, the odds are like way closer for the Tank fight than Nakatani's like I think plus 700.
And I can understand why though. I'm not faulting
like
anybody.
Barrios is like plus 350.
Yeah, speaking of that, so let's actually go into the main event for the top rank card with Masayoshi Nakatani and Vasily Lomachenko. So what are we thinking, fellas, in terms of final thoughts, how they think this fight will probably go?
I think it's going to be a clear decision for Lomachenko. I think it's going to, like I said, I think it's going to be similar to the Pedraza fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here's my thing about this fight. Well, first of all, the segments for Lomachenko and Nakatani, though, that reloaded shit, nah, like they needed to cut that shit out. Like that shit needed to be no more than 10 minutes of Lomachenko bitching, and that's about it. And then they should have focused on some other shit.
And that's why that's why when we like talk about because I've heard people say this as well. Well, all these shows, all these stables and stuff should get like all access. Like, no, I don't want to see some of these guys aren't interesting enough to have a fucking all access with. I don't want to hear Loma. I don't want to hear Loma crying for 20 minutes and Nakatani's no English speaking. Like,
but then that's true. But then the Valdez Burchell one was pretty good. The Valdez Burchell one that was.
And also the one for Monster was excellent. So like you could do it, but you have to make sure there's something behind it. Like Lomachenko.
Yeah, they should have cut that shit out. They needed to re-edit it, remix it out.
There's added more fuel to the fire for the Lomachenko got robbed Lopez bullshit. That's all that was, man.
Right, and then with Lomachenko
it was some creepy stalker shit. Like they kept having him in a dark room, standing up watching.
Yeah, in a dark elevator.
And like he busting after his neighbor or some shit.
In a dark elevator.
Yeah, but there's one thing about Lomachenko though that from the whole thing that I'm like, okay, something is kind of off too. It's like we all know Lomachenko has a lot of injuries or whatever, because his shoulder. Because after we see his training routines, June's training routines are borderline circus at times. So it's like, obviously you do that shit. Clearly injuries will probably happen, But it's like, he's facing he's facing a bigger lightweight. Someone like that. So it could be is like would Nakatani's physical dimensions be enough to actually really derail Lomachenko, give him some real issues, or maybe even aggravate some of his injuries, old injuries, I should say.
I guess it's possible. I just feel like the Barrios fight's a tougher fight.
But Pat, outside of this, I believe the shoulder, what's been like a major, I feel like it's nagging injuries for Loma, but I don't think it's anything like serious. Like you're going to get nagging injuries like any fighter, like regardless of, how long even, like all fighters have that. But it's like, are any of his like, is he out? It doesn't seem like you're making it seem like he's like kind of breaking down. I don't think it's going that far.
His shoulder, his hand, like he suffered a whole bunch of.
Loma's had obviously a very.
He had the shoulder surgery. I do remember he had the shoulder surgery.
He's an old 33 because he had a long ass amateur career, but doesn't Nakatani have that? They had that orbital injury.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Yeah, that orbital injury, and that's the thing, because. Verdejo, who's now, he's in hell right now, who should be in hell right now, broke his orbital in that fight in his win, and it's just like, what the hell is going on? Like, I know he had an orbital injury against against Teofimo Lopez too, even though he gave a great account of himself in that fight too. So it's like, someone shouldn't be having like back-to-back orbital injuries like that. That's also a big problem.
That is problematic. I think
just like eating ass nigga.
The fight between Teofimo's leftovers should be good though. That's all, guys.
Yeah, no.
This guy.
But yeah, no. I'm anticipating that fight because there's just more a lot of things like, if Lomachenko wins, obviously it'll probably get him back in the title picture. If he loses, then he's really up shit's creek.
Man, people will not let Loma live it down. Loma cannot afford to lose. I'm telling you, it's a bigger upset.
I wonder if Bob, because Bob loves some Loma. I wonder, how Bob's been on a rampage firing these niggas. I wonder if he'd let go of Loma if Loma lost another one.
Yeah. Honestly,
Bob might commit that.
Bob might just cash him out. Like Bob, if Bob, because Loma's almost at the tail end. Like Bob will cash him out, so it's not a big deal. I don't think he'll care. I don't think he'll lose sleep over it.
Yeah, I don't think he loses sleep over a lot of things. Like he does a lot of shit with no type of no rhyme or reason.
No rhyme or reason, yeah.
Probably why he's still alive, because he doesn't lose any sleep. Like
if Loma and Fury both lose this year, though, you might lose some sleep.
Yeah, that might be a real problem if that happens, Oh man, but yeah, I'm definitely anticipating that fight. For both main events. Now, in terms of this, going back to the Tank pay-per-view. Now, obviously, I think for the undercard fights, there was a change in one of the fights because J-Rock, when we previewed before, J-Rock was on the card, but unfortunately, he had to pull back out because of he aggravated like an elbow injury or something like that. So we got another top-ranked cast-off in the fight on that card. Carlos Adames, which was kind of surprising too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what? Like, I forgot all about Adames. I'm like, didn't he get bodied not too long ago? Like,
Adames had that ridiculous war with Patrick Teixeira over that vacant WBO 154 belt, which he did lose. He lost by 1 on 2 of the cards because he got dropped in the fight, which kind of sealed the fate. And then it looks like Top Rank was like, you know what? Nah, bro. Like you lost the WBO belt. We gotta get rid of you. So bam, he's on a PBC card, and he's making his PBC debut against Alexis Salazar, who's your typical like Mexican journeyman.
On a 16 fight winning streak.
Salazar?
Oh, sorry, that's my damn shit going off.
It's a high tech shit right there.
Yeah, that's my Echo Dot going off. My bad. But yeah, no. So it's good. So Adames on there, but clearly the highlight of the Tank undercard is Jason Rosario and Erickson Lubin. And both of the cats look like they were ready, at the weigh-in.
Oh yeah, they're both in good shape.
Yeah,
pause, but they're in good shape.
Yeah, like they look ripped and like ready to go. I mean, like I said, I'm anticipating that fight more than any other fight on that card, man.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think most of us pick Lubin.
Look at him at the weigh-in. Like Rosario looks like he could easily be at middleweight. Like,
yeah, he looks big. Like he looked bigger than that J-Rock fight. Like he ate a lot of bananas, That nigga look kind of good. No, but okay. So let me ask you this: for Lubin, if Lubin wins this, because I guess he's probably the next one. Would you, if you're Lubin, would you want that get back with Charlo?
Of course. Why wouldn't you want that? Like,
yeah, you would, but.
He has to get that get back. Because he was bodied in less than a round, so he needs to get that.
Yeah, and he was talking big shit too. He was talking some big shit too before.
Dude was memed, highlight reel, all that shit. So,
oh man, yeah.
He needs to get that get back.
I made a GIF out of that shit.
Dude got the title fight early, but like he was bad enough to take it because. The real talk, like he's getting more prepared for it right now. Like he fought better fighters since that loss.
He definitely shouldn't. He wasn't, obviously. Well, he wasn't ready.
He wasn't ready,
but he thought he was ready, man.
He thought
He
he was
obviously
ready.
wasn't, but you got to take the like. You get a
Yeah,
chance. You can't
exactly.
not turn. You can't not take it. So
Yeah, don't be the
And honestly,
don't be the
how
don't be the
often do you
Ben
get a
Simmons of
fight
boxing.
like that? You got like a blue chip prospect, going
Yeah.
against a young undefeated champion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, I definitely look for. And then let's see, Rand Josie. Why? So Rosario can get his stomach punched into his throat again?
Get some convulsions and shit. Yeah, that was a
He
while.
might not have that durability. Like he might be good for like the first 6 rounds. So
To Rosario.
that's probably his biggest chance there, because Lubin got a steady attack.
Lubin's always in great shape. I mean, he always
stop him.
Yeah,
always in great shape.
it's just his chin. The only question
His
on
chin
Lubin
is
is
a
his
little.
chin.
Yeah, his chin's a little. Not say it's suspect. You could say he's chinny.
He's chinny.
Both of them though.
Yeah,
I
Rosario.
was gonna say Rosario's even more chinny than Lubin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rosario body chinny.
Yeah, I think, but I also think Rosario is probably a better, heavier puncher than Lubin, though.
Oh yeah, but I think we would all agree Lubin is more skilled.
Yeah. Lubin has the actual goods. It's just more.
He's just not. I mean, but he's got more power because he's the bigger guy and he's a heavier like thudding. Rosario, yeah, he's like.
Lubin still got snapping hard.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Lubin has more snap on his punches.
Yeah, he's
so.
more snap on it. Yeah, but I wouldn't be shocked if Rosario caught Lubin with something, or
he can catch Rosario with something you don't see.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if that was a one-off when Rosario took care of J-Rock in Philly, but we'll see. I mean, we'll see.
Well, I mean that J-Rock shit. I mean, J-Rock has been knocked out before, but yeah, I mean J-Rock was such a fight. Yeah, I mean something clearly went wrong in that camp, and I think we alluded to that, because I know you had issues with Brad, and he had hanger-ons and all that. He fell victim to the trappings of being a champion. That's basically what happened. And he may have aggravated an injury to boot. So yeah, there was a lot of shit that went wrong for J-Rock in that fight. And then I have official scorecard also says, I haven't done any film study on Lubin Rosario, but it would be a profitable bet to wager on Rosario by stoppage because of Lubin's poor work rate and the lack of power.
That's not a bad thing.
I can agree.
Lack of power. I disagree.
You don't have a lack of power.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Work rate, but lack of power.
I completely disagree with the lack of power. Ask Coda that. Like, ask Coda if you don't have power.
No. Lubin got more respectable power. The work rate's a little suspect sometimes, though. Definitely.
Yeah, the power. Lubin
I feel
can
like he's still kind of shell-shocked from the KO, so he don't try to put his foot down.
You don't open up.
Yeah,
you don't open up like that. I mean, he's like on a 5-6 fight win streak. I mean, he had the Gausha fight with. There was a couple.
Yeah, there was in that fight.
He had one hiccup, and oh my god, it's the end of the world. Like, sheesh.
Yeah, I know.
But I do think he's a little more timid, like kind of like Vladimir after the Brewster and Sanders KOs.
Yeah, he was a lot more tentative. It took like the Sam Peter fight for him to finally shake that shit off.
To open back up, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I remember he was getting those big stoppages over the overmatch, career mode, jobbers.
Oh yeah, of course.
I feel like it takes a little bit more to get these guys out of there, but he's capable of it. Like, I wouldn't say he's the biggest puncher, but he definitely has a respectable punch.
I know what scorecard means when he said he worded it poorly. Yeah, I mean he has respectable power, but it's not like
agree. Check out some.
It's not like it's not no A+ power, but it's like a B+, A-, if you want to put a grade on it.
Absolutely, but that's the fight I'm anticipating the most. Like, and then probably another fight I just want to bring up back to the top rank card too. The co-main fight. I think it's sleeping. I know me and my man Lukey from Lukey Boxing. We were kind of having a conversation about the fight, the co-main. With Rob Brandt and Kazakhstan. I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce that dude's name again.
Yeah, don't even try.
Yeah, no. But honestly, I do think that fight is going to be that fight is absolutely slept on because Rob Brandt, Rob Brandt for the most part he does bring fades. Like if you ever saw his Murata fights, like dude dude will throw some hands, and dude has an incredible work rate for a middleweight.
Yeah,
like,
that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing with Rob Brandt is it's funny too because Rob Brandt used to be more of a boxer because he was in the first season of the World Boxing Super Series for 168, and he got soundly defeated on some boxing shit by somebody in the tournament. I forgot who. And then all of a sudden he turns into a fade bringer, and he's throwing hands with Devil May Care style. So yeah, and like I said, that is a sleeper fight. Like I mean, for as long as it lasts, like I mean, I'm expecting like a highlight reel knockout in that fight. So I mean, yeah, just for y'all watching that top rank card, keep your eye on that for sure.
Hold on, but who you said was getting knocked out?
Ooh, see, I'm still smarting from the Rosado Beck the Bully shit. You know what I mean? I think most of us are. And Kazakh style. I mean, he's 9-0 with 5 knockouts. So he's basically in the Beck the Bully role.
Well, let me ask you this: if Brandt wins, should he get a title shot?
I mean, shit, nigga. Who did he got at 160?
Oh man, nah. You know what? No more title shots for these guys. Like they gotta start getting maybe 2 wins a piece like this because
especially
the top level guys ain't fighting each other enough. And if these guys gonna start, earning title shots, they need to be on some win streaks and put some some decent names together, like how Rosado doing.
I agree too. I mean, because you can see Bob easily talking about, we'll do a third fight with Murata. If Murata,
that's what I was gonna say. You got the third fight there, or he fights the winner of Murata Triple G.
Yeah, you can
which nobody wants to see, might I add.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's funny. Murata is like the redheaded stepchild of the middleweight champion.
Nobody ever really considers. Nobody brings him up.
Yeah, like someone, like even when people have no reaction, like they don't like him or hate him. They just like they know he's a champion now because of the WBA shit and the fact that he held the belt when Canelo finally actually gave that shit up. So it's like, it's time to show and prove now before we give some sort of shit about you.
Just there.
That's it. But like I said though, but if I had to pick, I'm gonna go with Rob Brandt because he's experienced. I'm gonna go with this because because like I said, I'm still smarting from the Rosado shit.
Yeah, we went for the Russian Euro guy that had, undefeated in 7-8 fights. So let's go with the safe bet. Let's go with the veteran.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
fuck all that. I'm going with Team Kazakh.
And I wouldn't agree. I definitely would disagree with you. But yeah, it's just like I'm still smart. I'm like,
how old is Brandt? Brandt's like what, 30? But it feels like he's like 38 with all the ringers. He's been put through the ringer, like with some of the fades that he's had.
Brandt is only 30. He's actually in his actual prime now.
Yeah. I feel like he's been like put through so many fades that it's like you don't trust the guy once he hits 30 and he's had too many fades already.
Yeah, his last 4 or 5 fights were were straight fades. Like bro was really like he switched his style after he got his first loss. Bro really went balls to the wall with his fights. Like he's like I low key enjoy watching him, and I never did before. Like I low key.
But it depends if other dude got a chin though.
Yeah,
we know Brandt can take some fades, and we know he can get knocked out, but. He used to, he's got world-class fades.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why it's like, do not sleep on this fight too. Like,
that's a good one. That's a good one.
It's an absolute good one. So yeah, I think we pretty much we did a quick summary. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to bring up before we get up out of here?
About tonight or in general? About the fuckery that's still near Casemiro, Vada, whatever. It's such a bullshit thing.
Yeah, that's funny though, because the other day I saw that Donaire, like literally his whole career is the only boxer ever to literally have day-to-day yearly testing for Vada. I think it was. That's pretty impressive. The next day, fucking Casemiro comes out that he don't want to take the tests. Kind of interesting.
Well, yeah, I mean, Donaire's pretty much. I mean, he was the original for paying for his own test. So I mean, yeah. So dude is certified with that. But Casemiro not one.
He's been better than people on IG too.
Will come again?
He's been better than people on IG about it. Like I think Nemo and Casemiro, like they've been like he's been posting up the messages and shit.
Yeah, and they're also getting personal too. They're talking about Rachel Donaire's in this shit, and they're talking and they're exposing some chatty patty shit. Like it's getting ugly.
There are some cash shit. Some like
I don't mind seeing Donaire in a way too. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing that. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter to me as long as some combination between Donaire, Casemiro, and Rigo gets made, I'm good. Just figure that shit out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I mean, hopefully, it doesn't go. I mean, hopefully this fucker doesn't go past this weekend and they figure some shit out and then bam, we good to where we need to be. Because I'd hate for a fight on the Showtime schedule like that to be null and void because of some bullshit. So.
Yep.
So I think that's pretty much about it. Obviously, fights are going on. If you have ESPN Plus, the top ranked prelims are going on. There's been some fades going on. So get your favorite food, get your favorite drink, man, and enjoy the fights. And we'll definitely, we'll be here probably tomorrow or sometime during the week to recap everything as we usually do. So. I think everyone gave their final thoughts, so I'll just go straight to the outro.
Yeah, we good, man. Remember, we on TikTok now.
Enjoy boxing. Have a safe weekend.
Enjoy the fights.
Yep.
Be safe this weekend. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. For myself, Pat Scorpio, the New England representative. For Lauderdale Boss, Shuttleworth the God, the GOAT artist. For
talking about my name.
Yeah, I did, son. I'm not gonna lie. I had a little drink before this.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's Saturday. It's Saturday. It's all right.
It's Saturday.
I don't get to do this during the regular broadcast, bro. So I have
get your PJ on.
Yeah. For King P, Bodega P, and then for Conscious Pod, this has been another wonderful episode of Real Talk. Where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. So until next time, peace.
Peace.